Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sim's YouTube channel, and welcome back to Elm Creek Farms. Thanks for coming back for another episode. This is episode number 29, and it's hard to believe that we are almost at 30 episodes for this map. I was thinking the other day about how much I have enjoyed playing Elm Creek as compared to, let's say, for example, Ravensport in Farm Sim 19. And I think that I managed to maybe get 3 or 4 episodes of Ravensport. I think that was what it was called, Ravensport, Ravenscraft, something like Ravensport. Um, Managed to get about 3 or 4, I think less than 5 episodes before I just got really so frustrated and just really, I guess, burned out on the fact that we had all these high expectations for Farm Sim 19. It was supposed to be, the greatest thing since sliced bread and everything right out of the box. And I had all the problems with steering, getting the steering wheel to work. And I wasn't the only one. And just really somewhat disgruntled. And there were a few mod maps that came out a couple of weeks after Farm Sim 19 was released that were absolute junk. And just really did not get a whole lot of gameplay time in the base game map, and again was looking quite forward to it. And with this Elm Creek, I've got something like 70 hours in this map. Um, 70 hours, 70 hours in this series. We're coming up on episode 30 the next time we come together after this, and it has just really been amazing. Now I know, and I think I talked about this in the previous episode that the base game map is not as special as the counterparts that are released from mod creators, our mod authors that we know and love so dearly, that bring so much extra immersion, so much extra enjoyment to the base game, to the game itself. And those will be coming, and they will be coming out really quality, and it should not be too much longer before we have some of these available to us, a little bit more variety. And I'm not just talking about the Elm Creek edits, because there's a whole lot of different Elm Creek edits out there where folks have just basically taken the base game map, Elm Creek, and have changed it in such a way and then re-released it. And those are fine, and those are often interesting in the weeks and few months after a release of the new base game. But yeah, so I think I heard yesterday, and in the real world, this is Tuesday, the uh, the fourth of January, I believe. I believe that I heard yesterday that Palmsden Farm, which is the highly anticipated uh, mod map from Oxygen David, will be coming out for PC and console soon. It has been completed from what I read, and it is currently in testing with Oxygen David and his testers. It has not been submitted to Giants yet, so we know that that is a process in and of itself, and often a lengthy one. And I'm sure that as we are just the 4th of January, I don't even think Giants is back from holiday yet. I think I had read that it would be closer to the 10th or something like that before they were fully back up to 100% of their staff from the holiday. And of course, I am sure that there are hundreds. I think I read also yesterday that there was somewhere in the neighborhood of 400 to 500 mods that were waiting in the approval queue prior to the Christmas break. And I can only imagine the number of mods that are in the queue now, since we have had a couple of weeks of Giants being off on their Christmas winter break, and just what sort of a backlog that they have to get through. So what we're doing here, obviously, if you have not figured this out, if you are new to grapes, new to Farming Simulator 22, and have not had a chance to play or don't own it yet, but you're watching because you're on the fence, and I know a few of you are, we are pruning back the grapevine leaves and such from the grapevine, from the vines themselves. And we do this in the fall once the grapes have been harvested and the vines kind of turn to this fall, autumn color of orange, yellow, whatever. We come in here with this little pruning machine. We've got it connected to our little Landini tractor, and we just run through here and we remove the vines, um, the growth, the dead growth. And what this will help do is this will help rejuvenate the vines, and it will essentially allow them to come back healthy and strong next spring. So that's the joy of grapes, is you plant them once, and you just do your maintenance that needs to be done, obviously, and you don't have to worry about replanting them or whatever. So we're going to park this little Landini tractor over here out of the way, and you may have seen that I've got the Case combine down here because we've got this little bit of soybeans. Excuse me. We've got this little bit of soybeans down here that we need to harvest. And that's the harvest done, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. We've got everything done at the main farm. And we've got our grapes harvested. Of course, our greenhouses are just sort of on autopilot. And we've got the guys coming down here and packing up these the lettuce and everything. And so we are just literally almost done with fall. When we get these soybeans in, we will be done with fall. And what a joy that has been. All right, we'll go ahead and turn things on and get right into our crop here. Now, I sold some grape juice, I sold some raisins, and of course, for our storyline, for our somewhat let's play, as we've been doing almost from the beginning. We've got the B&B, and we've got guests that come in, stay. We're open every day of the week and holidays, and we've got guests that come in and enjoy the fruits of our labors. Almost, we've got folks that are enjoying the honey, the eggs, our vegetables that we're growing in the greenhouses. And now, somewhat brand new to the enterprise, we obviously have grape juice, raisins, and of course our own special wine, our Elm Creek Vineyard wine. And that has just been a wonderful hit for our guests that have come and stayed with us. I'm really excited that we've had the opportunity to do that. And this has been a interesting year as far as the B&B is concerned. We did allow some of our guests. We really didn't get this program off the ground quick enough, but we did allow some of our guests to come and help us out a little bit on the farm. We do plan to allow that in a little bit greater detail next year, next spring, next summer, and going to really gear up our hay rides and our trail rides and things of that nature, just to add a little more variety and try to add something that visitors will get that they cannot get elsewhere in any other type of experience. And that has just been really cool, and we've been having a lot of fun with that. Now, with the subject of grapes, and I had mentioned that I was on the fence, or maybe I should say on the vine, with regards as to whether or not grapes, the grape harvesting, the grape field, and all of this stuff was going to kind of pull its own weight. And we decided not to buy the grape harvester. We decided to lease that this year as a little bit of a trial and error, just so that we could kind of get an understanding as to just how much grapes was going to benefit us um, from a financial standpoint. And I must tell you that between selling the grapes, selling the raisins, the wine, and such like that, it actually has been a side business, a lucrative side business that we believe will add value to our farm and our operation and the B&B and everything else that we've got going on here with Elm Creek. So much so that we have decided that what we're going to do, I've been talking about buying extra fields. I talked about buying the fields down here, like the field that's in front of us there. And we've changed our mind as far as the location of these extra fields. We are going to buy fields this year. And by the way, if you look at the number of our cash that we have in the bank, and that's all ours, we don't have any bank loans at the present time, $742,616. That money, if you will, has come from selling grapes, raisins, a full load of milk that we had, and also, I mentioned also that because we had such a good yield off of our corn chaff for silage, that we were able to sell back 150,000 liters of silage to the animal dealer. And the timing could not be better for that. Even though the market for silage at this particular point in time is kind of on the low side, the animal dealer really needed the silage going into the winter months and early spring months, and where they had been procuring their silage from was not as, they didn't get as much as they wanted and hoped for. And so we were able to kind of step in and help fill that void. And the good thing is that we've now got a contract, a long-term contract with them to go ahead and supply silage to them each year. We will take a portion of our crop that we ferment, and we'll do that work for them, and then deliver the silage to them. And so we basically managed to make the bulk of our money came from selling that silage to the animal dealer. Now we still have some flexibility with the amount of silage that we have, and what I told them is that obviously we now need to protect our interests, in other words, our dairy. But we feel pretty confident that we'll have silage left over, and once we can get to a point to where that we can see that we're not going to run out ourselves, then if we have any extra, we'll certainly consider selling that to them. So that's a possibility right there. Now, I didn't bring the tipper and tractor down here just simply because I did not think that we would get the yield enough of this field to warrant bringing it down. So we're basically just going to drive the combine back loaded. I don't think that they would necessarily do this in real life, but this isn't that far of a distance to go, and we will just take it slow and easy and get it back to the main farm once we get these soybeans harvested. So I think what we're going to do, kind of going back to our plan, is we're going to extend the vineyard into this field. We're going to add maybe another 10 rows, 15 rows, whatever we think that we can get comfortably down here. And of course, I think we could get a lot more than that into this plot of land, but we have to be somewhat aware of what we can do from the labor perspective and stuff like that, because we don't necessarily want to overwhelm ourselves to the point to where that we might need to consider hiring someone else. Really don't want to add anyone else to the payroll right now. Between Bo, between George, and between myself, we're good to go. And of course, we've got other folks that handle the greenhouses, but don't really want to bring anyone else into the mix as far as operating their equipment and harvesting the grapes and such. So we're gonna at least consider doubling, and maybe even, like I said, an additional 15 to 20. I don't think we would go over 20 new vines, because that would give us 30, and they are a little bit time consuming, and just, kind of breaking out a role play just a little bit here. They are not the easiest crop to kind of manage in farm sim, just because of some of the difficulties with the cultivation process and the mulching process and such like that, getting the tractor stuck in the fence posts and all of that. So, but the yield was enough that, it's something that I could enjoy doing another season, and that's what we plan to do. So we'll probably get George to come down here and bring a tractor and cultivator just to clean this field up a little bit, and get those weeds out of here that you see just off to our left, and get those done, get this field looking nice and black, and go ahead and put our vines in early next spring, whenever we can come around to actually doing that, and that'll be nice. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start wrapping things up here. This is just kind of a short 18 to 20 minute or so episode, just to kind of bring you in the loop on what is going on. And I did go through a couple of game days off camera just to move things along, harvesting the soybeans and the sunflowers up at the main farm, and getting those other fields seeded with oilseed radish. And probably off camera, we'll go ahead and do the combine the fields that we've been talking about up there at the main farm, and getting those ready to basically put oilseed radish in. And we're just kind of in a standing point here, where we're going to take care of the greenhouses, we're going to take care of our animals, and we're going to just wait out the winter months until we can come back around into the spring and start our planting, and really start everything all over again. And that would be the third season, maybe the 2.5 season, because really the first year you start in August, and not a whole lot of planting opportunities there, or at least planting and harvesting. But get our third year underway, and just having a lot of fun on this map, and looking forward to other maps. And I've been playing off camera a little bit on a couple of the other maps that are out, but this is going to, for now at least, be our map that we're going to put Let's Plays on and put on the channel. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I hope that I hope the new year, even though we are only a few days, or at least I'm only a few days into the new year. You guys are a little bit further along than I am, but I'm hoping that the new year is everything that you had hoped and wanted it to be, and will continue to be that way going forward. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and please check out the links in the show notes down below that talk about my mod spreadsheet, and also my Discord channels, both simplysafemods.com as well as grizzlybearsims.com, Discords and such. And take care of yourself, take care of each other, and also be good to one another. And come back here very soon for another video on Elm Creek Farm. Bye for now.